when a player is expecting an attack and they're positioned for the attack and they're ready for the attack, they're going to be in a better position to defend. Also considering the fact that his reinforcement route is going to be a lot shorter than his opponent's. That being said, he did put that Nexus down first, which is why his opponent probably has a small unit advantage on the ground. And looks like Spear's actually going to rush in here with his forces, sending his Zealots in first, obviously. And the fighting is going to be in that narrow corner, so I'm not sure if having a superior count is actually going to actually help Spear, because you can see that most of Best's Dragoons are actually able to fire in, whereas in the initial exchange all of Spear's Dragoons weren't able to fire, and it's really difficult to tell which of these players is actually going to come out on top here, because the number of Zealots seems to be even. High Templar coming out for Best. This might be the X Factor here. This might be what changes the game, because his High Templar are in the battle, and he's actually won the battle, so Best wins the battle. He's going to force Spear back, because Spear has got no Zealots left, so so Spear commits himself. Best wins the battle, but it ended up as a sort of a stalemate, because Spear pulled back in time with about equal number of resources left. He's got a Templar Archives up as well, but it looks like Best has the Templar out slightly earlier, and if he could maneuver a drop somewhere, because neither of the players have got photon cannons or any defensive structure, so a drop behind the probe lines could be fatal here, Diggity.
Yeah, if he can manage to get that Dark Templar in the back lines and just force Spear to bring some troops back and then attack from the front, that could be an excellent tactical maneuver. I think we're going to end up seeing the longer this map is played, more tactical maneuvers like that. I think the other factor here is I think that Forge is finally going down for Best, where I think weapons wanted, or that Forge was down a long time ago for Best, where Spear is just getting that Forge up. So I think the weapons as well as the Templar advantage is going to go into Best's favor. He is setting up for a Templar drop right here. Let's see if he decides to move out simultaneously with the forces, because I think a two-pronged attack as well as some Templar drops could be really, really effective here. It doesn't look like there are any cannons in the backfield, and as you can see, that Observer, in that last battle, Best also took out an Observer. It didn't look like Spear managed to get any Observers out to catch any of Best's Observers out in the field, so he's also going to have good spotting to do some Templar drops right on this corner, which looks like he's moving in to do right now. So it looks like it's going to be Templar Storm drops alongside a Dark Templar drop in the back base.
Great play by Spear, great play. He saw that drop coming, he spotted the shuttle in time, and he got his probes out. He didn't lose any probes to that attack, so that attack was ineffective. And I think that now you got the Dark Templar in the base. He's got about 3 probe kills, 4 probe kills. He's trying to protect that Photon Cannon. 5 probe kills, 6 probe kills. The Photon Cannon is going to go up, but the Dark Templar gets 7 probe kills. Hero Templar, he's going to get taken out, but he's done serious damage to Spear's economy before he goes down. And another drop coming here. This time he's hoping that his opponent is distracted. He managed to move the probes away, loses about 2 or 3 probes, but nevertheless he's being put on the back foot, and that's what you don't want. You don't want to surrender the initiative to your opponent. Storm attempt by Spear. Spear sent the Templar out, but it got intercepted by Best's forces, and Best very cleverly having a small kill group outside of his main force to intercept a High Templar, because Spear was trying to sneak a High Templar up to Best's forces and get a storm going. I don't think Spear's got a shuttle running up for himself yet, so both players now positioning themselves on the map. I feel Best has probably got the positional advantage, Best being purple again, just to remind you guys. Best seems to be, to me, with the slight advantage. He's the one who's done damage to his opponent's economy. He's the one who's got the shuttle going, so he's going to be able to protect his High Templar better and use them more effectively. He's also got control of the middle area of the map right now. It looks like we're going to have a massive confrontation here in the middle of the map. Best's force is more truncated. Meanwhile, a drop goes off in the natural expo of Spear as well. Gets a storm off, gets a couple of drones. Spear very cleverly attacking from 2 fronts, and I thought that would have given him the advantage in this battle. But he's now actually got his Zealots away from his Dragoons. His Dragoons are not shielded by Zealots, but he's actually going to now present a united front. I think Spear had the advantage in that fight, because Best's units were all bunched up together nicely for a storm. It looks like Spear is actually coming out on top in this fight, and Best is in trouble now because he was ahead earlier on, but now he's running and he's lost most of his forces, whereas Spear has got most of his forces alive. Best does have more forces coming in though, and Best has done damage to Spear's economy. This game really in the balance. Anything could happen. This game could tip either way as Best's reinforcements arrive in the middle for yet another battle, Diggity.
Yeah, the question is I'm curious what Spear's upgrades are. It looks like level 1 upgrades are for Best, and Best also needs to be, Spear needs to be careful because his units are kind of out of position. Looks like Spear's actually going to take advantage of that out of position force. As you can see on the minimap, looks like he's running some Zealots into that secondary, going to engage some reinforcements there. Fortunately, the reinforcements just coming out in time for Best, but Best in the meantime losing Templar in retreat right now. But the supply count just about dead even, and I think what this is going to come down to is those storm drops that Best managed to get off on Spear's base. Just that little bit of an economic advantage from there. Nice storm catching a Zealot there. as well. Now it looks like, yeah, Best pushing into Spear's base, now on the attack, and the question is will Spear's reinforcements be out in time? I think Spear has about a 10 supply count, so a couple extra Dragoons. Dark Templar in the meantime sneaking in, trying to get to that mineral only, but as you can see, there is a cannon there, we're just waiting for it. Now an engagement happening there, Psystorm, and not a very good Psystorm from Spear on the opposite side, only catching a couple Dragoons partially, but there's no Observer in that group to deal with that Dark Templar. There is an Archon around, so it'll do a little bit of splash, but Best does not have an Observer to deal with that Dark Templar, so he's going to have to back these forces off.
Yeah, meanwhile, looks like we've got a massive battle engaging here just outside Spear's main, and it looks like Best is actually losing this. He's got Dragoons and an Archon, whereas his opponent has got Dark Templar as well as Zealots, and it looks like actually Best is going to lose most of his forces. He's going to be forced to retreat. He's got more reinforcements coming though. Meanwhile, that Dark Templar continues to wreak havoc in his base, and Best is in serious trouble. Yeah. That Dark Templar continues to wreak havoc. Spear now in the middle of the map. Best has got a few Dark Templar out of his own and Zealots, and he's managed to push Spear's forces away. I think where Best lost his initiative, and that pylon is going to go down. Oh my god, Dark Templar hammering away at the pylon at the middle of Best's gateways, and he doesn't have an Observer there. If that pylon goes down, this is going to just basically kill the game off, and just in time he gets the Observer out and saves the pylon. That would have been critical. The Dark Templar gets taken out. If that Dark Templar had killed that pylon, that would have been GG right there, unfortunately for Best, but he luckily managed to save it. But Spear, I think the point where Best basically lost this game, or lost the initiative, was where he went into the middle, of the minerals, and bunched all of his Dragoons and Zealots together and just got stormed heavily. Meanwhile, looks like he's going to try and pull back the game by dropping yet again. He's dropped High Templar again, and this time he's going to cache loads of probes. He's going to massacre loads of probes. He only got one High Templar, and he was only able to get a single storm and not do nearly as much damage as he wanted to, but he's able to pick that High Templar up back in the shuttle. Meanwhile, Spear is pushing forward to Best's main, trying to advance into Best, maneuvering for position, jockeying for position. He's got a decent number of units there, but a lot of his Zealots got caught in that storm, and he doesn't have enough support, but now he's got reinforcements coming in, and the shorter supply route is going to help him. Spear's got more reinforcements on the way as well, but Best should be able to clear up most of these forces here and get more reinforcements. Now, decent storm by Best, actually manages to catch most of the Dragoons as well as the Archon in that, and we've just got a pish battle here with both players just struggling to keep their reinforcements in play, and the only thing that's keeping Best alive right now in this battle, despite the superior damage that he's done to his opponent's economy, the only thing that's keeping Best alive is the fact that he's got a shorter supply route with his units.
Yeah, right now, Best is shoving up. He's got a slight supply count. I think he's actually ahead though, because he's managed to harass Spear's economy again and again and again, where Spear has essentially gotten no harassment on the economy on the opposite side. Looks like he's got the level 1 weapons upgrade, a level 1 upgrade also up for Best, and it looks like we're seeing expansion in the up left-hand corner, at the 9 o'clock position. Looks like an expansion also going up at the 3 o'clock position for Spear, and I think this is going to be a critical part of the game, is who can defend their expansion as well as their main, as well as keep the troop count up simultaneously. 2 observers coming across that force right now, going to see it kind of in the middle. Let's see if they continue onto that 3 o'clock expansion to see it's up, and I think this is what this is going to trigger, is it's going to trigger a battle on one side or the other. It looks like Spear is actually moving up, going to try to take the initiative here, but both players, continuing to macro up. But man, I love this. I have to say, I've really enjoyed this match so far. Really epic battles coming down to just huge macro management battles. That 3 o'clock expansion has been now spotted out. Looks like an observer coming in from the opposite side, going to spot out that 9 o'clock expansion, was killed by those cannons. Now, it's going to come down to some massive, epic, huge battles, and honestly, I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
Yeah, both players finally poised. Spear, I think Best would have had the initiative had he not made that rookie error of positioning most of his forces in the middle of that mineral ring and getting them all. And it looks like level 2 upgrades for Best, while Spear with only the level 1 upgrades. And we're going to have a big massive battle here again, just near the 9 o'clock position, near the 9 o'clock base of Best, just outside of that, and looks like once again Spear seems to be winning these mini macro battles, but Best actually has got a more superior Dragoon force. Actually, he's going to win this battle. It's impossible to tell who's going to come out on top, but it certainly looks like Best is going to take this one out, and he's going to actually polish off most of Spear's forces, and Spear's going to be forced to retreat. Spear seems to be playing the aggressor. He seems to have pushed more often towards Best with the majority of his forces. Best seems to have been content to stay back. I think the reason Best is doing that is because he feels he's done more damage to Spear's economy than Spear has done to his, and a massive supply count difference now. Best with over 100 supply count, Spear with only 61. So Spear losing all of his ground forces in that, and he's obviously going to rebuild, and this is going to give Best a chance. And Spear hasn't even gotten that Nexus up at the 3 o'clock position, and he doesn't have the ground forces, and looks like Best is actually going to take this game, because Best is now going to push out, and he's actually going to set up his units in between the probes, intercepting the probes as well as intercepting his forces. He spread those Dragoons out as well. He spread his ground forces up. A couple of storms go off on Best's forces, but he's got more reinforcements arriving, and he's got Dark Templar as well, and Spear GG. So Best with that one decisive battle where Spear committed himself, and looks like over the course of time, the reducing of his opponent's economy, the hampering of his opponent's economy told in the final telling. I think he would have been a lot more comfortable had he not lost that one initial battle, the first big battle they had in the middle. I think he made a mistake there, but other than that, Best played a good game of StarCraft.
Yeah, I think the major difference right there was that level 2 weapons upgrade that Best ended up getting a little bit sooner, and I think Spear committed right then and just ended up getting dominated, even though I think he had just about an equal ground force, but then just getting a little bit out microed, and then yeah, that level 2 weapons really playing the game for it. So anyway, moving on. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for listening.